You've probably seen the Reddit threads, the YouTube comments, the clickbait headlines. Arbitrage betting is dead, they say. The sports books, they are too smart now, or you just get banned. And hey, they're not totally wrong. It has gotten harder over the years because you can't just show up, slam some bets, and rake in cash like it's 2015. But is arbitrage betting actually dead? Well, it's not even close because the truth is, arbitrage betting and its smarter cousin, positive EV betting, still work, but you just have to know what's changed, what still works, and how to play the game without getting caught. So in this guide, I'll break it all down in plain English with no hype, no fluff, just a real step-by-step look at how people, yes, in 2025, are still making $1,000 to $2,000 per week on the side using math, not just luck. So let's get started with the basics because what the heck is arbitrage and EV betting? Well, let's break this down nice and easy because arbitrage betting, aka arbing, this is when you bet on all the possible outcomes of a game using different betting websites. These are called sports books. And because their odds don't match up perfectly, you end up making a small profit no matter who wins. It's like finding milk at one store for $1 and another store for $1.50 and buying from the first store and selling to the second. Boom, you make a profit right there. So to make an example, let's say bookie A has team A at 2.10 odds. Bookie B has team B at 2.05 odds. Because of this, you can just bet on both sides of the game, and no matter who wins, you walk away with a few bucks. Positive EV betting means expected value. So EV stands for expected value. And this one's a long-term strategy because you only bet when the odds are in your favor. And that's when the sports books offers a better deal than what's fair. And you're just betting on one side rather than both sides. And you won't win every bet, but if you keep betting smart, the math will stack up over time. So to show you an example right here, let's say the true chance of a team winning might be 66%. So the odds would be 1.50. But the sports books offers this game at 1.60. That means it's a good deal and you take it. So the big takeaway is arbitrage is guaranteed smaller profits, but you need to be quick and act fast. And EV betting is long-term growth. With some bumps along the way, you might get dips, but over the long term, you should profit. And what I like to do is use tools like OddsJam. That way you don't have to go scouting through all the websites yourself. It takes a lot of time. There's software that literally just shows all the odds on the screen for you. It finds these positive expected value bets for you, and you just go to the bookies, and it's all in one dashboard. Now, it does cost money, but just from the time it saves you and the money you make back from the betting, it pays for itself 10 times over. If we just look at this right here, we can see the OddsJam dashboard, and you can see on the side here we have 15.81, 11.19, right? These different games here, these are positive expected value bets, which means that if you bet on these games many, many times over, in the long run, you should be making anywhere from 15% to 9% profit per bet. So you bet $100, you should expect to make back $9 in the long run. And basically what OddsJam does is it just finds all the bets and lays it out here. It's super convenient. I've been using this tool a lot myself. So if you want to check it out, I'll put a link to it in the description where you can get a free trial and try it out for 7 days. If you do use my code, LukeParlay, you do get it for 35% off if you do decide to buy the software. But just try it out for free and you'll start winning some bets. And it's super awesome. I love this tool a lot. But moving on to section 2, why does this betting strategy work and why do the bookies not always win? Well, the secret is the sports books, they aren't perfect because they set their odds using different math, different data, and sometimes just vibes. Okay, maybe not vibes, but it feels like it sometimes because you'll find just crazy odds on different sports books. And there are hundreds of games, thousands of bets, and dozens of sports books every day. That means that eventually someone messes up, or more likely the odds just drift apart. And there is your opening. So your job is to find these mismatched odds and just bet smart and cash in before they fix it. But how much time does this take? And just letting you know, it's actually not that much, especially when you use a tool like OddsJam, like I mentioned earlier, because when you're starting out, you should expect to spend maybe 10 to 15 hours a week learning the process. You need to understand odds, and don't worry, I'll explain that later. You need to know how to set up accounts and get familiar with the betting tools, but once you're rolling, like on the weekdays, you might just spend like an hour a day. On the weekends, since there's more games, like the Premier League, NFL, horse racing, things like that, it could be a bit busier. You could spend 4 to 5 hours just looking through all the different games, and total time per week could be 8 to 10 hours. And that's less than a part-time job and a lot more profitable if you do it right. So here's a step-by-step game plan. Step one, you want to start with the free money promos because bookmakers, they want you on their sites. So they offer a lot of promo bets and sign-up bonuses. So use these first, especially if you're in the US. They got tons of these. They're free bets. They're low risk, and you can make $2,000 to $5,000 just by working the promo circuit. Now, they do this for a reason, right? They give these massive promos because most people that come in will spend money themselves. And since they suck at betting, they're going to end up losing money, and the bookies end up making money from these promos. But if you go in as a smart bettor, you're actually getting free money that you can use to kickstart your bankroll. Moving into step two, and this is where you move into real arbitrage and EV bets. Because once your bankroll is solid, you want to go for real ARBs and EV bets. The more money you have, the more you can scale. And it's kind of like leveling up in a video game. As you continue to bet, you get better gear, which is cash, and you get bigger bosses. You get to go for better odds, more loot, more profit. It's kind of a game. Sports betting is super fun. Like, it's super fun seeing the bankroll climb over time. You're going to get addicted to this. Hopefully not addicted with the degenerate sports betting because that's how you lose money. But if you stay unemotional and just slowly manage your bankroll properly, you should grow over time. Which takes us to step three. And this is just to let the robots do the work. You want to use the tools. Like, at a certain point, it's just way more efficient to use a tool like OddsJam because you don't want to go clicking around, spending 4 hours a day just trying to find odds because it takes a lot of time, and that time could be better spent just placing the bets themselves. So OddsJam is what I use. Super good tool. It just lists out all the different bets right there on the dashboard. Like I showed earlier, that's what you want to use. This tool literally just tells you bet $150 here, $142 there, and you make $8 no matter what. It's just simple math magic, and OddsJam is awesome. So how much can you really make from this? So to keep it 100, $1,000 to $2,000 per week is totally doable. And that's if you go like full time and you're finding like a bunch of bets everywhere, right? If you're just doing it casually on the side, it's not going to be that much. But let's say you're placing these bets. It really just depends on the amount that you're wagering, right? If you are making 5 to 10% per bet, let's say you wager $10,000 total, right? Divided by 100 times 5, that could be $500 right there. So you're going to have to wager a lot. So obviously the bigger your bankroll, the better it is, right? But if you think about any investment, right, 5% return is actually insane. Like, you would be happy with a 5% return over a year on like a normal investment. So to get this back, just you place a bet, it comes back like the next weekend. This is actually insane, and it's way more scalable than any other investment. But don't think that you'll be making $10,000 a week forever, because the sports books, they begin to catch on, and they'll limit your bets or even ban you if you're too good. And yeah, it's a bit ironic. They don't like the winners, but it's their rules, so we just have to respect it. As long as you're creating, there's ways around this. Like, you can warm up your account. I have other videos that go deeper into how to avoid getting banned, but it's eventually you are going to get banned. There's not really much you could do, but it is what it is. But moving on to mistakes that can ruin everything. And first mistake is just being slow. If you're going to be doing arbitrage betting, the odds change fast, like every second. And even using OddsJam, like I would be scrolling through the tools, I find a bet, click on it, and then the odds are different. So if you take your time, then the juicy ARBs will be gone. So just be fast, and the tools help you do that. Also, do not use sketchy sports books. Just stick with the big names like Bet365, PointsBet, SportsBet, etc. If the site looks like it was made in 2003 and it's asking for your passport and your dog's birth certificate, then maybe just skip it. There's a lot of sketchy crypto sites too, so just be careful about that. Now, third is don't guess the bet sizes. You don't want to eyeball it because this isn't blackjack. Use a calculator or OddsJam to figure it out. And yeah, just use exact numbers. Don't guess. And lastly, do not get emotional because even with smart betting, you sometimes lose. So don't tilt, okay? Don't chase losses. Don't turn into the guy that's yelling at the screen with a beer in one hand and a maxed out credit card in the other. That was me a while back when I just started with sports betting. I would rage bet all the time. Like, I'll be betting, I'll start losing, and then the rage betting begins, and you just end up losing everything. So it's not worth getting emotional. And actually, this process is good because it's just math based. So you kind of lose that emotion. You kind of just trust in the process, and you know, if I stick to this in the long term, things should start to profit. So, how to keep your winning? First thing is to track every bet. Have a Google Sheet. I use Google Sheet for my bets. I keep everything in there. I track it, go through it. Super useful stuff. Just track your bets, and you actually see like which types of bets are winning, which types of bets are losing, and you get more data, and you can kind of shift your strategy depending on what's happening there. Next is review your profits weekly. Spot what's working. Again, if you track your bets, you can do that, and reinvest smartly. Over time, you'll grow your bankroll, and it just kind of gets more and more and more. You get compounding effects over time too, especially if you're managing your bankroll, because you'll be betting in unit sizes, like 1%, 2% max of your bankroll per bet, and over time, it's just going to exponentially grow. Spread your risk out across multiple sports books, helps you stay under the radar, and if you get banned from one, you have other accounts with different bookies, so it kind of keeps you able to continue betting. And lastly, don't brag online because sometimes the sports books, they're sneaky. They're on Reddit as well. They're on forums. And if they see you bragging, they're going to find your account and ban you. So lastly, it's the mindset. Okay, this is a side hustle. It's not a lottery ticket. You're here to make calculated decisions, not chase adrenaline. So think of yourself as a mini hedge fund manager, not a gambler. So don't bet emotionally. Don't deviate from the math. And don't treat this like a casino. And if you stick with this, you'll get it. Arbitrage and EV betting aren't just hacks. They're real strategies backed by real numbers. And you won't become a millionaire overnight, but with some patience and about 10 hours a week, you can build an income stream that actually works and learn a lot about math, discipline, and decision making along the way. So to do this now, just try out OddsJam. Once again, link in the description. Check it out and just start YOLOing in and doing this arbitrage betting process. Now, again, this is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It's about betting smartly and slowly, and this is way more powerful. So if you want to learn more about OddsJam actually, then check out this video next to learn how I use OddsJam to find positive EV bets step by step.